Hello everyone, it's the Anime here, and today we are going to be doing something a little bit more fun. We're going to be doing an anime review on one of the new animes, Wonder Priority. We're going to be reviewing episode 1, and if I enjoy it, I'm going to keep on making episode reviews for it. So yeah, hit that intro. Now, before I begin talking about my review, I would just like to warn that if you have not seen the first episode of One Day Priority, please click off the video, because I will be talking about story elements in it, so you will get spoiled. So if you don't want to get spoiled, click off the video. Now, the episode starts off very interesting. The main character, Ai Auto, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, she's picking up a bug and then a taxi code in front of her. Now, she goes to bury the bug, which is weird enough on its own, but I was expecting weirdness out of the series, because I've heard it was very weird, very confusing, so I was expecting this. And then out of nowhere, the bug seems to resurrect somehow and start talking to her. And this is a big, very confusing. I'm like, okay, I guess we can go with this. And then they just start walking, and the girl doesn't seem to question it. So I was like, okay, this is getting pretty weird. And then suddenly they just walk into this mysterious land with a escalator going down, and then she just falls and wakes up with an egg. I was just like, okay, Wonder Egg Priority, okay, there's an egg. The title makes sense. And then she goes back to sleep, gets up, and when she gets up, she's like, okay, what do I do with this egg? And she tries to break it, boil it, questions it, which was a good comedic scene, kind of. It was like good little comedic scene. Gotta give him that. Even with the very serious tone that the series seems to be taking, they do focus heavily on comedic effect too, which is nice. Nice lightener for the mood. Then she walks out of her apartment, it seemed, and she ends up in a school. I'm like, okay, you know what? It's a little weird, but at the same time, somehow makes sense. And then she walks and sees these people writing stuff on a locker, such as just very mean things like kill yourself and stuff like that. So then she gets really freaked out, starts running, and then she goes into a bathroom. And then the toilet paper starts talking to her, saying, break the egg. And when she breaks the egg, a human comes out of this. I'm like, okay, this is getting weird. But luckily, it kind of gets explained later on in the episode. Like at the very last part where you kind of start getting it. But once she breaks the eggs, a human comes out. And the human is, is revealed later on in the episode someone that had killed themselves. And basically it seems that you're saving their life. So once the human comes out, the human just almost instantly knows where she is at. So it seems that she has gone through the scenario multiple times, maybe with different people, waiting for her friends to come save her. Because as it is revealed later in the episode, your friends have to come save you by saving these people that have killed themselves already, that are waiting for their friends to come save you. It's kind of hard to explain, but you kind of get it if you watch it. Now, with that, they move out of the restroom. And then there was a little funny bit where the girl that came out of the egg said, did you really have to open the egg in the damn restroom? Like, really? And then the main character says, well, yeah, even though she didn't. But she didn't know what was going to happen when she broke the egg. She just broke the egg. So, with that, the games begin, basically, where this girl has to survive until the bell rings. The girl that came out of the egg. So, and Tao, hold on, give me a second. I'm leaving this in the video. Okay, I'm gonna say I has to protect her, basically. And I, at first, just runs with her, and, well, as they're running, the girl that came out of the egg gets hit with an axe in the arm. Somehow doesn't cut off her arm, but I'll give it that. I just scratched her, so she starts bleeding. And as they're running away too, I gets knocked into and stabbed in into a locker. And with this, you're like, oh, well, that sucks. She's gonna bleed out. But as they keep on running, they find a safe place, a safe haven of sorts, and you realize that I's bleeding has stopped, but the girls haven't, so you wonder what is going on, which the girl that came out of the egg explains very simply. You are immortal in this world, I am not. You should probably protect me. And, well, the next time they run into these creatures, I does not protect and kind of just gets nervous. So then the girl that came out of the egg is like, okay, it's okay, whatever, and starts running. Even with a smile on her face, which is very interesting. Starts running away. And then we cut to I on the rooftop of the school. And then she walks over to a statue, which seems to be her friend that killed herself. That we get a flashback, it seemed, to how they first met. And then I's best friend dead on the floor, basically. Like, seemingly killed herself by jumping off a balcony. And with this flashback, I starts to cry. And when she cries, the statue cries too, which seemingly is her friend almost saying like, no, it's not your fault, kind of. And the tear falls on I's face and then goes in her mouth, which was kind of weird in my opinion, but I'm not gonna question it. It was interesting, weird, probably tasted like salt, like all tears, And then after this, little scene, I sees the girl she's supposed to be protecting, like running on a roof, saying hi. And then the girl that I'm supposed to be protecting sees the creatures running towards her, and then she's like, well, shit, I should start running. So she starts running, but it's on a rooftop, so she's gonna, run out of room, like, very, very soon. So I is like, well, I had enough of this, grabs a pen, and takes a leap of faith off the building, and just smashes the creatures to bits. And the animation here, I have to say, the animation here was stunning. Like, the animation throughout the whole episode was stunning. A very good animation for the series. But with this, all the creatures die. So, since all the creatures die, the girl's safe. And they meet one last time on the rooftop. And the girl seemingly disappears. And Ice begins to freak out a little bit. Then the bug wakes her and is like, well, yeah, in order to save your friend, you're gonna have to save more of these people. With that, we have like a slight time skip, it seems, to the morning where the mom made breakfast for I. And as I is eating her breakfast, her nose starts to bleed. Then it cuts so that we can see where she got stabbed earlier, and it bleeds, and then she faints. Then we cut to a scene where she's in a hospital, and her parents are like freaking out, like, what happened? Was it because she was out last night? What happened to her? And then we seemingly cut to a scene where she's walking, presumably after she was in the hospital. I'm like, we don't know the time period, but at the same time, I'm like, you were just in the hospital with your side bleeding. What are your parents doing letting you just walk? Okay, so that was a little weird. But she's with the bug and asking the bug all these questions like, okay, how many people do I have to save my friend? If I save multiple people at a time, does it go faster? And then the bug says, you're one greedy motherfrick, aren't you? If you don't save the person, then you don't get your friend back. And then the girl's like, ah. But then she asks one final question, which I think would be pretty obvious. Like, did these people that I'm saving kill themselves? And then the bug's like, no comment. And then we're like, okay, yeah, we know what they did. Okay, we know that they killed themselves. Okay. So with this, they seemingly teleport into a new world with these two people. And these two people are made out of some type of material, wool, that they're not human, and they just greet her like everything's normal, and she's like, okay. And then they're like, okay, wait your turn. Other people are getting some eggs. And then she's like, wait, there's other people. And then so she looks to see a person right there, and she's like, oh, a person. And the bug's like, yeah, a person. She's like, then she says, she has such a fine figure. The bug's like, oh. And, well, with this, the episode ends. Now, my main opinions on the series so far is it's very confusing, but it is only the first episode. So I'm expecting as I watch more of the episodes, it will become more clear. Although near the end, they did actually a really good job clearing up a lot of the questions you may have had during the beginning and mid parts of the episode. So yeah, although it's a little confusing still, I'm sure they'll clear it up. The timeline's a little confusing. They'll clear that up also. So yeah, overall, the first episode, I'd give it a good 7 out of 10. As it wasn't like the best first episode I've ever seen, but it was pretty good. So yeah, thank you all for watching. Like, subscribe, or not. I don't really care. Do what you want. You have free will. And goodbye.